At 79, Sally Field looks back on a life that began in Pasadena, California, in a household filled with creativity but shadowed by emotional complexity. Born in 1946 to actress Margaret Field and raised by a stuntman stepfather, she grew up around cameras and scripts, yet struggled privately with shyness and self-doubt. Acting became her refuge, a way to speak when she didn't yet feel strong enough to use her own voice. She found early fame in the 1960s as the bright, lovable star of Gidget and later the Flying Nun, roles that made her a household name but left her feeling underestimated and confined. Refusing to remain trapped in a wholesome television image, she stepped away at the height of her popularity and immersed herself in method training at the Actors Studio, determined to be taken seriously. The transformation was undeniable. In Sybil, she stunned audiences with emotional intensity, earning an Emmy and proving her depth. Then came Norma Rae, the role that won her first Academy Award and gave the world that unforgettable, vulnerable Oscar speech. She followed it with another Oscar-winning performance in Places in the Heart, revealing a rare ability to portray quiet resilience and unspoken pain. Through the decades, from the raw grief of Steel Magnolias to the warmth of Mrs. Doubtfire, and later acclaimed performances in Lincoln, Brothers and Sisters, and even the playful charm of 80 for Brady, Field built a career defined not by image, but by truth. In 2023, when she received the Screen Actors Guild Life Achievement Award, it marked not just longevity, but integrity, a life spent honoring the craft. Her personal life unfolded alongside her work: marriages, motherhood, public romances, and private lessons. She raised 3 sons while navigating love stories that played out under Hollywood's glare, including her passionate and complicated relationship with Burt Reynolds. But with time has come clarity, and among all the towering figures she encountered, few left a deeper impression than Paul Newman. Reflecting on their time together in Absence of Malice, Field speaks not of scandal, but of character. Newman, she says, was exactly what you hoped, and more. Already a legend when they worked together, he never used his stature to intimidate. Instead, he created safety. He listened. He encouraged risk. He made others feel seen. Field admits that even as an accomplished actress, she still carried insecurities from her early career. Newman sensed that without ever calling attention to it. His confidence was quiet, rooted in knowing who he was. He worked diligently, never relying on charm or fame, and approached each scene with seriousness and humility. To her, his greatest strength wasn't his iconic presence or piercing blue eyes, but his instinctive decency. In an industry often driven by ego, he stood apart. You trusted him, she reflects, because he was trustworthy. And the camera could feel that. Now, decades later, her truth about Paul Newman is simple but profound. When he passed, she felt the world lost a kind of moral steadiness, a man who proved that strength did not require cruelty, and power did not require noise. He showed that greatness is a daily choice, lived consistently and without performance. Knowing him, she says, made her want to be better, not just as an actress, but as a person. And in remembering him, Sally Field isn't revisiting Hollywood nostalgia. She's reminding us that integrity, generosity, and quiet strength still matter, on screen and far beyond it.